Hey everybody, welcome to Your Home, Your Happy Place. My name's Debbie. Thank you for joining me today. We're in the dining room and we're going to be doing a completely different direction than we did in my last video, which was a breezy coastal autumn. And I used a very pale color palette and no orange. And I was really floored by the feedback I got. So many of you do not use traditional fall colors, and a great majority of those keep coastal out year round. So I kind of found some of my people. That's not to diss anybody who loves traditional. I will be doing traditional in my lower level and probably other areas in the house, partly because some of those rooms, the wall color, maybe the furniture, they lend themselves to those colors. And so I have a lot of that already. But anyway, today I promised you a little different direction. And the inspiration came pretty much from me unpacking my bins. So let's get started. Okay, I'm going to put a picture of the color palette. I'm going to see if I can remember it because I don't have it in front of me. It's on my phone and I can't see it. But one of the colors, they're just all deep. One's a very earthy green. There's a wine color. There is a cream. That would be the lightest in the group. There's a blue-green, not quite teal, so, but you'll see when it comes out. There's a burnished copper. So some of you might go, oh, well, that's orange. It really isn't, because it's referring to some of the metals that I'll be using. And there's chocolate. And I don't know, there's some kind of gold. I don't know what I called it, but anyway, that's my color palette, as you can see there. And not anything except that centerpiece that I showed you last week is new. Everything else I already had. However, I'm pretty sure, well, the things from Hobby Lobby are still available. I think almost everything, probably. I can still find links for you. So we'll see if you're interested. I think this would be such a beautiful Thanksgiving table, by the way. All right, let's start with, this one would be on Amazon because it's certified international. I'm not sure where I bought it. Look at the picture. So this is the closest we're going to get to orange in there, probably right there. And there's that deep cranberry or wine. We're going to accentuate that a little bit, I think. Yeah, we will. And then this beautiful blue, and we've got the gold. And then if you get closer, you're going to see some pale blues. Of course, that ivory and that real earthy green in there. And then overall, it's like they threw gold on it. And that's my color story and my inspiration for the table. So I'm going to get started with the table runner. Oh, I take it back. That is new. Shoot. Okay, this is beautiful. Oh my goodness. This is such a nice quality. This is new from Walmart. And as you can see, I'm using a tan, which I rarely do, but it's reversible. And if you're interested in a more ivory color, I knew I wanted to pull a deeper base out with this. And so anyway, it was very reasonable, and I will have it linked. One of the things I love about this table runner is it lays flat. So many of the table runners do not. It's got enough weight on it. You know how they are, they'll get kind of wrinkled from being folded, and maybe this will eventually, but I don't think so. All right, my next layer, and we're going to be layering. This is going to be so fun because I love what I did. This is like a velvet. These are probably, I know these are from Home Goods years ago. I probably pull them out every year or every other. I have like table runners in rust and green and cream that all have this kind of really pretty stitching in there. next layer was a surprise to me. I was unpacking bins and I thought, oh, you know, you don't know what, maybe you do. I don't know what I have year to year. I mean, I've been decorating for fall for decades. And I don't get rid of a lot of stuff. But these are not that old. They are still at Hobby Lobby. And I do recall having them as wreaths on the back of my dining room chairs one year. But I saw this and I saw that color and I looked at it with that plate and I'm like, that is just gorgeous. So I decided to make that my next layer. So I'm bringing in that ivory and pulling in a little bit of that gold dust. It's picking up the colors from the placemats. And they're just perfect size. I love it. And at first I thought, oh, I don't need a charger because it'll cover that up. And I thought, well, I'm going to try. Because again, I was in, not my bins, but my butler's pantry, just digging through and seeing what I had as far as chargers, placemats, all that kind of thing. And I pulled these out. I'm sure I've used them before, especially this time of year. They're very heavy, which makes me think they're probably from Pier 1. But I think you still could find something very similar. So this is my burnished copper. So it's not orange. It doesn't read orange whatsoever. But I love the metal. I mean, it's hammered. It's got your grapes vines on it, and what it does is leaves a peekaboo of what's underneath it. Some of you might go, oh, well, you pretty much covered it up. What's the use? But I really think when it's all said and done, that it really does add something to the table. All right, so now let's add this beautiful pop of colors on top of this. And you just can see it come together. The darkness in all of this makes the greens, which are dark in here, really pop. And I'm telling you what, the teal and that little thing are coming out really strong. And I don't know, I'm not a big pheasant girl. I don't know what possessed me to buy these. This is how that looks. I just think it's really beautiful. And we've got so many textures going on here. And I love how it's just kind of peekaboo. You barely see the soft velvet gold. You barely see this. You barely see this. This makes this the complete feature. And then I just adore the texture of this runner. This is probably going to be one of the most masculine table settings I've ever done, for sure. I've used these before, especially at Christmas. They are very like cranberry. They're very old-fashioned looking, and obviously I've had them for a long time. I will likely put napkins under them, but right now I just wanted to get onto the different colors that I'm layering. And then we'll talk napkins after. You don't need to watch me do all of these. Bringing all these colors in, if I had just gone with silver or gold flatware, it would just be so dull. Even copper, it would just be so dull. This little punch of color here is picking up the color in the head of our pheasant, who is the feature story. And I just think it just really took this table to a whole new level. So there's so many options you could do for glassware here. Plain crystal would be lovely. And then amber, if you have amber, gold, even a teal colored glass, green, they would all be beautiful, but I have none of those. But what I do have is my real copper, and these always are like jewelry on the table. I love them so much. And they also keep drinks very cool because they're aluminum on the inside. And then we step back again, and it's just, honestly, I love building a tablescape. Wow, wow, wow. It makes me so, so happy. But as you can see, I have very little space for a really wonderful, meaningful centerpiece. And because I have all this, like a lot of times I'll do garlands and things in the center, but that'd be overkill for me with this look. I knew right away when I unpacked these, I have two of these. They're mercury glass, but they're like, they've been copperized somehow, you know, the color on them, and they very much go with the copper on the chargers. Not exactly sure. I'd prefer them to be right here in the center of these two, but I have a feeling I have to move them down because of the centerpiece that we picked up or that you saw in the last video. Okay. And then I knew if I could, and I happen to have them, I wanted to bring, even though they're barely going to see, you're only going to see the top, but I wanted to bring that same color in again. I mean, color is just so important to me. I just live for it. These, oops. Okay, we're almost done. I haven't cut the tag off yet, but this is that centerpiece. And you guys, honestly, I wasn't going to have a pumpkin in here at all. But when I found this centerpiece, you already know I picked it because of these pheasant feathers that are in it. I just thought that was beautiful. And the overall color palette was not, this is the most orangey thing on there. And it does pick up that little bit of color in the plate. All right, we're almost done, but I just wanted you to see how beautifully that centerpiece finished off. I mean, it just was exactly what we needed. I love it. It's the greens in there are identical to the greens in here. We've got that beautiful feather. Even this, I really wasn't thinking I loved it, but it kind of just melts away. You don't even see it. And then the color of the squash pumpkins and this one flower are very much picking up the background. I just think overall, it is a stunning piece. So we could stop there, but I did want to look at napkins. I tried several. I have some cranberry ones on order. In fact, they may be here. I just got an order, but before they come, and I might use them somewhere else. Before they come, I tried a couple more. I tried gold. It was way too bright, at least the gold ones I had. And then I had another one. So these are chocolate. I want to say they're probably from Hobby Lobby. I'll be able to tell if I look at the, but you know, you might go, but that's not even in there. And maybe it is, maybe it isn't, maybe right in there it is. But I'm gonna show you something that's not gonna work, but oh, I'm sick that it isn't. Unpacking my bins, I found one of my napkin rings, and look at that. Look at that napkin ring, and I'm just gonna set it here so you can see how when I add that, the gold in this is already picking up this. We've got the deeper colors that are playing with the charger. And I don't know, that brown just kind of grounds the whole thing. It's gorgeous. The problem is I only found 3 of them. And I have gone through, I think, all my bins. So I may have them at our other house. I don't know. But these were from Pier 1, so I'm not going to find them again. If I could find flowers and even think of creating that, I would. I think that's beautiful, but I don't have it. I have copper, plain copper rings that I could do, but at this point I thought, you know what? I think I'm just gonna fold these up and place them under. One of you once said um, that you prefer your napkin or your silverware on napkins instead of the table. And I get that. I just think I'm always the decorator part. How can I make this even prettier? So obviously to me, that is way more presentation than this just folded. Thank you for joining me today. I am so glad you did. And let me know if this was something that was helpful for you. I really do hope that if you're somebody who is a little fatigued of the traditional fall colors and want to try something fresh and new, or you're someone like me who just doesn't dig it. If you don't love orange, it's not your thing, this is an absolutely beautiful color palette. It's still very deep, unlike the one I showed you last week. And I think this table screams fall without focusing on a bunch of pumpkins or a bunch of orange. And I think it's beautiful, not to mention kind of masculine, which is not something I typically do. So did I already say it? Don't forget to give me a like. I'm saying it again. Shop my links. And you guys, am I coming back soon? I may not. We're going on vacation. We're going to the ocean. I cannot wait. You guys know I love it. And it's been a long time. I don't think we've been on a vacation for a very long time. I think some of the last ones we were on were scary, horrible vacations. I think I told you about the last one on my birthday about a year ago, where someone attempted to enter our hotel suite. And I mean, so much has happened this year, so much. But we are going to have the best time. And if I can, I will keep you in the loop by posting maybe some lives or just some community posts of us on the beach, shopping, eating. The food's always so great. And I will see you when I get back for sure. And we are going to have so much more to see. Oh my goodness, more color palettes coming. But first, we're going to revisit the Breezy Coastal Autumn. My kitchen table, I'm telling you, it's gorgeous. I love it too. But we are going to go down into the lower level and we're going to be using traditional colors. So I have something for everybody, and I thank you again for joining me. You guys have the best week and make your home your happy place. Bye.